Hola.
What's up?
It's been a long Sunday.
Hasn't it? It has.
Yeah.
Exciting Sunday for basketball.
Right.
We're gonna get into that, but we back for episode 92.
Man, to hear that we're 92 episodes in is insane to me.
It do. We come a long way.
We have, and we still got so much further to go.
So much more to do, but we've done a lot so far. What's good, Spendoc?
Spin Dog, what's up? What's up, everybody? I mean, yeah, welcome. Welcome to the 21 Titles Weekly Recap. We are 21 titles. And I guess what that means is like I'm gonna go back to the beginning when we were trying to figure this out, right? What do we say? Creating equity through community and collaboration.
Yeah.
I mean, we still about that,
Been about it, still about it. So it still applies.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, that's really what we're here for. Um, Chantee is an IP attorney. I'm also a business professional. I ain't got no law degree though, so
We're not gonna do that.
Chantee went through the. Whew,
We're not gonna do that. Cause you have to in other ways. I ain't gonna let you do that. I
but
wasn't a part of the Big East. I didn't do none of that. I didn't
oh
play overseas. We just giving each other flowers right now. That's what this is.
yeah,
But come on. Basically, you rocking with the best. That's it.
yeah,
That's
that's a
it.
fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. But to the people of the internet and our good friends who we really know in real life, who are also watching, welcome to our recap. This is our offering to the community. Okay, we feel that it's important to have conversations about the dealings behind the scenes and in the boardrooms. Also, what goes on beyond the court. If you have been with us here before, you know that we also do a podcast called Beyond the 9450 on the 9450 network. So we're very much big into just providing resources and opportunities to the next generation of student athletes, really, because that's what we were. Uh, I'm gonna say we're still athletes because once an athlete, always an athlete. But we do not compete competitively anymore.
You see what happened to that shoulder? I was about to say, I'm out the game. I'm out the game.
Look, daily things when you get older really just show you that you got to take care of yourself. Um, okay, just make sure you're stretching, y'all. Make sure you're stretching. That's my advice. Get down. You're supposed to be able to move.
Get that body nice and warm before you do something crazy.
Woo, God.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So our weekly recap entails recaps of the week in women's college basketball, in NIL. If you've been here before, you know we cover name, image, and likeness. Like I started off with, Chantee is an IP attorney, so that's her wheelhouse. Student athletes and, you know, high school and college can now monetize their images and names. So we kind of just stay abreast and attuned to what's going on with that news. Then tech news, because we feel like tech is a sector that basically I mean, kind of foreshadows where the economy is kind of going, right? And then we finish off with some culture. Uh, but yeah, we had a nice Elite Eight Sunday.
We did. We could start. You want to start today? We could start from today.
However you feel, see fit.
um, I guess from yesterday, I just wanted to give a shout out to Haley Van Lith because she had a great game yesterday against Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
TCU beat Notre Dame 71-62. And Notre Dame's performance it wasn't the best of them. They shot poorly. Um, Overall, they shot 22 for 69. Um,
That's terrible.
which is poor, very poor. Um, the shot selection was poor. They looked out of sync on offense at times. And they missed some layups. Yeah, Hannah ended with 15 points, but she shot 3 for 19 from the field. Olivia Miles, she shot 3 for 10 from the field, but she ended with 10 points, 3 assists. And then Leah Tu King actually had the high, and she ended with 17 points, 10 rebounds.
We
Yo,
have
wait. Mr. SC Bread. We was like, yo, we hope you come into the room tonight. I am so happy to see you. We both happy to see you.
That's a fact.
Yo, listen, we said that you was right.
Right.
You're right. No, not about Hannah being overrated. All
Right,
right. I don't
now.
think we don't think Hannah Hidalgo is overrated at all. But we did. What's crazy is we did post your previous comment on IG where you was like, everybody at the in the ACC is going to be going home watching the tournament from their house.
Yeah.
So you correct. You were correct.
Right about that.
You was right about that. But yeah, I guess to Mr. SC Bread point, Notre Dame lost yesterday. Again, it was a really poor shooting performance from Notre Dame. I think it was indicative of how they were performing for the second half of the season.
Yes.
It's indicative of their performance at the end of the season. So Olivia Miles apparently is still, figuring out if she wants to declare to get drafted in the WNBA or if she wants to stay another season.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Haley Van Lith, she had a great game yesterday. Come the second half, she woke up. I'm like, oh, not us seeing like a refined Louisville.
Yeah.
Haley Van Lith. But nah, she looked great yesterday. She finished with 26 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists. She shot 10 for 21 from the field. Sedona Prince, she ended with 21 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. And Madison Connor shot 4 from 8 from the field and ended with 13 points. I had Notre Dame beating TCU on my bracket. I'm not going to lie. But that's my bad to TCU. And I believe this is the first time in their program history that they're actually going to the Elite Eight. So that's a big deal. I think this is a major redemption story for Haley Van Lith, especially because of her comments about how difficult and mentally tolling the previous season was for her, and to come to a program where TCU didn't have enough players last year. I don't think enough people know that, where they had to get volleyball players and walk-ons to finish the season. They were forfeiting some of their games last season.
Right.
So for her to come to a program and help turn it all around, and then on top of that, get back to yourself, and then take your team or help lead your team to his first appearance in the Elite Eight. That's I don't even know what to say other than that's an amazing story.
She goated.
Yeah.
I would have to say, like, you, just to echo what you said, she had a redemption year. I think last year, she didn't fit in to that LSU system, man. Like, it just seemed like she was just forcing. It seemed like she was not playing free. Like, I mean, and she didn't really look happy when she was at LSU. Like,
She
so
was just trying to figure it out. She
yeah,
was, yeah.
it was like an adjustment period for her, for real. Like, but to see her come back and get her team to the Elite Eight, yeah, that's what it's about. And I think we spoke about this also too, right? The experience that she gained from the 3-on-3 this summer in the Olympics was pivotal for the resurgence of her confidence. Um, them winning the bronze. And that in itself, the Olympics was kind of like a redemption story too, right? We lost. We were losing. We lost like the first couple of games and then had to come back and kind of claw our way back onto the podium, essentially. So I think that grit and that fight that she experienced this summer as well helped and showed this past weekend when she carried TCU to Elite Eight. I mean, and for me too, I definitely picked TCU to beat Notre Dame. And one of the reasons why I did that was because of momentum. Like Chantee hinted at, Notre Dame's last few games, I would probably say they last 5 games, 3 out of the last 5 games they lost. Okay? And for some reason, like, just watching when Niele Ivy put Maddie Westbell back in the starting lineup, things just went awry for Notre Dame. They should have kept Kate Koval in the starting lineup and just let Maddie come off the bench. Because there was really no kind of like chemistry. She just came in, she missed like 15 games this year and then coming in half of the season. So Notre Dame was just looking real janky at the end of the season. Just like poor shot selection. Like, and that's uncharacteristic from Notre Dame team. So yeah, they picked the worst time to kind of falter here. They picked the worst possible time to play bad.
I agree. I will say that they had a great season though.
Yeah.
And congratulations to them. I'm looking at the comments. People should have went through.
I mean, to be quite honest, I was a little bit hypocritical of Olivia the other day too, because I feel like sometimes she stays in that showboating bag, and it's like, Olivia, we don't need showboating right now. We need you to actually get a bucket. Like, go get a bucket. Like, we love when you do that, right? But yesterday we needed her to get into killer instinct mode and do what she needed to do, and she did not. So I'm gonna be honest, Olivia, come back. Come back. Finish the job. Finish the job with Hannah. Come back.
I wasn't expecting you to say that.
Come back. Finish the job. To be quite honest, Olivia got to come back. She got to work on her defense. I'm going to be honest. She has to work on her defense. Because she's a liability. And that's coming from somebody who didn't play defense. Okay, I'll be quite honest. But when I got to college, I had a real wake up call.
Yeah, that's how it happens.
I gotta play defense to get on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I gotta play defense. So Olivia, she gotta tighten up on that end because she could definitely be a great defensive player as well. But I feel like she takes plays off.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at what you said. Didn't think you was I ain't see that coming, but I'm not mad. For the reasons that you provided. First of all, let me first say I saw DA, what was it, last weekend? In Maryland, when Maryland was playing Norfolk State. And that's the first time DA saw me. So I don't even think I told you, Brittany, why DA thought that I was short. Yeah. DA, you know Brittany's around the same height, or she's like a little taller than me. So he's a clown.
Hold on, who's this? Who's
your
welcome to college moment, Britt? Kia Vaughn. In practice.
That's crazy.
I got elbowed in the jaw by Kia Vaughn trying to go up for a rebound. That was my welcome
to
to
your own people. Because that's New York.
That's Bronx.
It'd be your own people.
Yeah, after that, I was like, yeah, I'm in college now. Wow. Thank goodness she ain't knock a tooth out. But yeah, elbow to the face. You know how they tell the post to elbows out? Yeah, I got caught in one of the right there.
He's so silly. He's so silly. Anyway, we're gonna move on to the second game. The second game from yesterday, Texas versus Tennessee. Texas beat Tennessee 67-59. Brittany, do you want to talk about your girl Madison Booker? She shot 6 for 15 yesterday, and it was 17.6 rebounds.
She shot okay. But you already know I had a little bit of vendetta going with Miss Booker. From the season.
And how she shows up.
And how she shows up against
opponents.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, yesterday she shot decent, but I feel like she could take it up to another level. You know?
There's definitely another gear. And I think
we got Lolo in the building.
Yeah, they are frauds.
Yeah, they are.
But like Brittany said earlier, like they're those last 5 games, the 3 of the 5 games that they lost, was it just indicative of just how they performed yesterday? Like shot selection was poor.
Like not moving the ball, like
no, a lot of standing around, out of sync. So
it was just very uncharacteristic. It's like almost as if they didn't have a 19 game streak this year. Like
like it never happened.
Like what happened, y'all?
I don't know. And I really do wonder what happened. Yeah. Yeah. Mr. I don't even know if y'all. Well, damn. Mr. SC Bread is the only one who kind of was getting at the fact that they were frauds.
Yeah,
Mr. SC Bread
he was.
has been saying that all season, but um, yeah. Back to Madison Booker. I do think there's another gear.
You gotta turn it up,
There's another gear for her,
and she
but
gonna have to turn it up. Cause who they play? They play who? They play.
I'm checking now. They play TCU.
Yeah, you know Haley Van Lith. Haley Van Lith. We seen that interaction she had last time she played Texas.
Have fun in Miami. Yo, that was a spicy game.
Yeah.
And that was 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, she has another gear. But yeah, no, I was hoping for the upset actually yesterday.
Right.
Knowing that Tennessee doesn't finish out games. I knew that. In my bracket, I had Texas winning, but was still hoping for some chaos. Tennessee, they made it fun, but the turnovers
Yeah.
come the fourth quarter. I'm like, what is happening? What is going on? And they just lack experience. They lack experience.
I'm gonna just say, like, with this just generation, y'all don't y'all don't take care of the ball. Like, I'm gonna be honest. We come from a generation where, like, point guards 3-1, assist to turnover ratio 2-1. Take care of the ball, because if you don't, we running. Like, if you don't, we running. It's a lot of like even in the Duke South Carolina game, I'm like, what is going on with the turnover?
That was nasty. That was hard to watch. I'm like, not y'all folding. Like, we're gonna talk about it later, but not y'all folding.
Hold him like a picnic chair, dog. Like, are y'all yo? But that goes with youth. That's why you need people with experience. But sometimes even the people with experience be making bad decisions. Also, too, let me just go back yesterday. Oklahoma versus UConn. Page. To be quite honest, this is the Page that I thought we were going to get all season. Because Page, okay, Chantee been waiting for this. Chantee been like, yo, you been vouching for Page. Where's she at?
Listen, I've been
because no, I'm gonna say this. Page, let's keep it a bean. She's turned it up towards the ending, going into the tourney, but she hasn't been playing like she about to be the first round pick of the draft. Yesterday, that was yes. The game before that, 34, yes. I need the Stars to kick it up to another gear now. This is what time it is. It's time to kick it up. Killer Instincts. Let's go. 40 Bean. Yeah. That's the type of Page I need to see from the rest on. Rest on. Tomorrow I need a 40 piece. Let's come on. We've been waiting for this. Like, she could have had 50 yesterday.
I was just letting you get go ahead. That's your girl. But you're right, because I've been waiting, like Brittany has said. Yesterday I couldn't say nothing. Couldn't say nothing other than this is what we've been waiting for.
Come on.
Yeah, like Gino always says that. Like, yeah, he been waiting for like, what are you doing? His attitude is very much like, what are you waiting for? What is gonna get you going? What do I have to say? What has to happen?
Right.
But she was cooking yesterday.
Everything too. Mid-range, getting to the rim, 3-point shot. Like, yeah. That's the energy we need. Like, that's the energy you got to come in with. Like, for the tourney, because everybody is tired at this point. We're tired. I'm tired. We're tired. You're exhausted. But you got to, you finna go to another Final Four. You finna trying to get another national chip. Okay? And I know Paige more than anybody wants to get a chip before she leaves. Okay? So this is a public service announcement. Everybody, it's time to turn it up. Turn it up. Like, this make me want to get back in my bag. Like, seriously. Like, I want to get back on the court. This is like, seriously.
I know. Especially because I don't even know if we want to have that conversation about TikTok. What?
Nah, that's for another day.
Yeah. But yeah, no, you're right. You got to go into another gear during this time of year. Every possession matters. Got to take care of the basketball.
This is championship basketball right
now. It
now.
really is. This is championship basketball. There's no room. There's no room for multiple mistakes at this point. Damn, you got to be more passionate.
Jen, that is a bar. Do you see that? She either her shoulder, Jen. Woo-hoo! It's a bar. It's a bar. Mm-hmm.
Okay. But yeah, no, shouts to UConn. Yeah, they beat Oklahoma. Your girl going to Oklahoma.
Yeah, Leah Chavez. I don't know. Everybody was kind of taken aback by that decision. Like, after looking at the clip again, like, people weren't even clapping when she said, "I'm taking my talents to the city of Norman."
She was like,
girl, we know you got the bag. Because ain't no other way.
We'll see. I wasn't expecting that. But
I thought Texas for sure.
But
okay.
But shouts to UConn. They'll be facing off against USC, who beat Kansas State last night, 67-61. This is the the first full game USC played without Juju present. Juju tore her ACL. Thoughts and prayers to Juju, because ain't no joke. I was happy to see that she was watching the game on her IG. She posted she was watching it. The team came off the bus with the Juju Nike shirts on, ready to go. Yo. Y'all need to know why we laughing. Yo, look, we're gonna get back to that. Mr. SC Brett does not play around.
He don't. He been putting some real hot takes, and they've been something.
They have. But yeah, no, they came in full support of Juju, which was really nice to see. They had the bobbleheads on the on the bench, and it was good to see them step up in her absence. And shouts to Kennedy Smith, a freshman.
To be quite honest, all like the three freshmen, Avery Howell, Kaylee Heichel, and Kennedy Smith, they all stepped up yesterday.
Yeah, they did. They did. I love to see it. A lot of people don't step up to the limelight when it's time, but they did yesterday, and so because of that, they helped USC get the win last night. What I learned last night about what we learned about Ayoka Lee, that she's a family therapist.
Yes. That she's a family therapist. She's been through a myriad of injuries.
Yeah.
And this is her 7th year along with just like Sedona Prince.
Yeah.
7 years.
All right. What I will say is that because I know what I appreciate about the NCAA tournament are those little stories. Like today, we learned Chloe Kisby coloring before the game.
Right.
To calm down, calm her nerves.
That's the decompress that I'm talking about. Not, yeah, okay. You know what I'm saying, but let's keep that.
I mean, we can have the conversation. I don't agree with it, but we're going to get to it. I'm going to bring it up. Anyway, moving on to today's game. We had South Carolina versus Duke. South Carolina won 54-50. South Carolina,
they won by the skin of their teeth.
A win is a win. Yes. A win is a win for sure. But how they've been performing, I'm gonna just keep it a buck. Duke gave them that game. I'm being for real. Duke gave them that game. That's no hate, no shade. I had South Carolina on my bracket. Cool. I watched the game though.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, Duke gave them that game. Between all those missed layups, I don't even know how many layups they missed. I know they missed some free throws, and I know they coughed up the ball.
Yes.
When they shouldn't have. Times in which they shouldn't have in the fourth. It looked crazy. Early on in the game, South Carolina looked out of whack on offense. And then right before halftime, they were struggling to score. And I don't think I've ever seen them struggle for that long to get a bucket. I could be wrong, but I can't recall. And but what I will say is Chloe Kitts has been so consistent for South Carolina.
Yeah.
She's been balling.
What I'm gonna
say? She's been hooping.
21. Can you do something for me? Okay, because Chloe gonna do something for you.
Yeah, no. Chloe Kitts has been hooping. She got MVP. As part of I think the all regional team. And yeah, back to Duke. Toby.
Can you make a layup?
Toby.
I know she played okay today, but she also missed a lot of layups.
She missed a ton of layups. I was like, God damn. And Duke was severely not severely, excuse me. They were out rebounding South Carolina too, which was something to see. They was getting all the hustle plays.
Duke effort.
That's really the word. That's the word.
Effort. The young lady, what's her name? Lucci? I don't know. The one with the hops. She is like what 5'10", and she going in. Her vertical is off the chain. Okay, vertical off the chain. But one thing I want to say about Duke, that killed them. Time, situation, score. This is what comes with inexperience, not understanding how to protect the ball, not understanding what situation you're in, and understanding how to score. First and foremost, the poor shot selection by Jackson at the end really threw me for a loop. Like, it threw me for a loop. There's a couple of times she caught Pow Pow today too. Like, Pow Pow was struggling on defense. I don't know what that was about, but Jackson, bad shot selection at the end. She took a 3 and it was an air ball at the end when they didn't even need a 3. Like, they could have got to the rim. It was just a poor decision at the end. Literally down the stretch, there was literally I feel like 3 times.
No. Yes.
Like 3 times Duke just gave them the ball. 2 times
literally
like gave them pass.
Turn around. Oh, Brittany's in front. The ball, yeah. It's so you got to take care of the ball. So nonetheless, I enjoyed the game. It's South Carolina. They're going back. It's the 5th time in a row.
That's incredible.
That is it. Yes.
That is incredible.
That's
Do y'all know? I tell Chantee this all the time. I'm speaking into the mic right now. That's why y'all can't see my face. Maya Moore stopped me from going to the Final Four for a second year in a row. Okay? It was Maya Moore. That was hard. Getting back to the Elite 8. That was incredibly difficult. Okay? They're going to a 5th straight Final Four. That is really insane. Insane. And you know, people think that that's easy. Oh, it's South Carolina. No, that don't mean nothing. It don't, because every year is different. You got different factors that that are in play. Like 5 years in a row is brazy. Shout out to my old Coach Jolette Law, because I see you on the sideline, Coach Law. I know you don't suit up no more, but she used to give me hell when I was in school. I'm gonna be honest. Coach Law and Tasha Pointer, they was on the practice team, okay? Talking trash. Coach Law, congratulations. 5 straight is incredible.
Remarkable. So shouts to South Carolina. Shouts to Duke. And then last but not least, LSU versus UCLA. Now, both of these teams was talking a lot of trash. It was very spicy yesterday. I like
big spice.
Personally,
big spice.
I like that. Yeah. I like that. It was extremely spicy yesterday. You had Janiyah Barker getting interviewed saying she hate LSU. You got Florida coming on talking about, I woke up this morning thinking today was game day. I'm focused. Okay. They were just interviewing the players. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know they felt this way. But this is
Dougalage is talking spicy too, talking about, I think we a better team.
I don't think they got enough.
I don't think they got enough players. That's crazy, but I love it.
Yeah. But yeah, UCLA, they won today. They beat LSU. What was the score? Let me see.
65-72.
Yeah. Lauren Betts was in foul trouble very early in the game, in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what was going to happen after that. Before the game, I'm like, yo, Lauren Becks can't get into no foul trouble.
Yes.
And then that happens. That hasn't happened all season long. So she sat out for the whole second quarter. LSU did not capitalize off of that during that time.
Yeah, they fucking.
I was like, what's happening? So yeah, Florget, she had 28 points, shot 10 for 17 from the field. Excuse me. Anissa Morrow. Shouts to Anissa Morrow.
Broke her nose.
Yeah, and I'm always gonna root for the undersized big. As a previous undersized big, the stuff that Anissa does on that floor,
Yeah.
big time. She may be undersized, but she don't play like that. She don't play like that. She got hurt, broke her nose, came back in the game, trying to win a game, trying to win this game.
Facts. Facts. You know who showed up for UCLA though?
Yeah, Tamia.
Tamia. Thank you for joining the party.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
When I tell you she could have been doing this like literally all season. We was waiting for Tamia. Another one. If y'all was watching women's basketball last year, she's part of the Oregon State Exodus. Okay. Thank you.
Stepped up
Jaquez. Thank you.
Another great game. Player that had a great game.
If they want to win, it's got to be all of them.
You saw that clip, Lauren talking about. I'm so effing tired. Yo, shouts to Lauren Betts. I love Lauren Betts. I love Lauren Betts. She's a true big.
Yeah.
A true post. Don't want to shoot no threes. Don't want to do any of that on the perimeter. She sprints up and down the floor. She's demanding the ball in the post. And let me tell you something. At 6'8", she's strong.
Yeah.
That girl is hella strong. She'll have 2-3 people around her and will find a way to get the ball up and get it in the basket. I just be hyped to see her perform the way that she does. And for the last 2 games, she's really been putting up crazy numbers and really been keeping UCLA alive. Alive. Lauren Betts has been keeping UCLA alive.
Yes.
She wants to win.
Yeah, and you seeing her emotion now more. Like we seeing it. Like when she get a basket, yeah. I want to see it because you work so hard, y'all. You work so hard to get to this to get to this moment in the season. It's like you got to give all or nothing. Like literally, you are not gonna have another game the next day if you don't win. You gotta leave it out on the floor. No regrets. And that's what we seeing from Lauren. She's
getting it done.
I want to
tired
win.
or not. Tired or not.
Okay. I wanna win.
I did see something floating around before we went live. That Florget doesn't know if she's gonna stay or if she's gonna go.
Oh, she gonna make that decision too?
Ooh. Yeah, that's what it seemed like.
Okay.
So Florget's had an amazing season as well. I think she should stay though. I think she should stay.
Why?
I think she's got more stuff to work on. She has to keep developing as a player. Even though she's had a remarkable season, every season she has gotten better. And has looked a lot more confident. So I will say that I don't think another year would hurt. I think it's only going to increase her confidence and give her more time to like refine herself as a player. So I think she should stay another year.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing her stay with Michaela and keep uh with Williams. Like them two, I love watching them. So Flau'jae,
We'll find out soon enough.
we will. And
So go
I just
ahead.
wanted to acknowledge that Rutgers is done today. They lost
Oh, I'm sorry.
in the NIT.
Who they played?
Buffalo.
Oh,
They played
SUNY
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Yeah,
Shouts to SUNY Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Your girl Kiyomi.
Yeah, we gonna talk about the transfer portal. But yeah, shout out to I just wanted to shout out Destiny Adams. You know, she's a senior.
Mm-hmm.
She had a great last game. She had 26 points, 13 rebounds. I mean, probably the most consistent Scarlet Knight all year, besides Kiyomi when she did get to play. But remarkable career. Just wanted to give her a shout out. Also, JoJo Lacey. She's a transfer, and she came in this year, lighting it up. So, just wanted to kind of shout them out. And last but not least, China Cornwell. I think she's a hard worker. China. Don't know if any of them have aspirations to play professionally, but I wish them the best in their next endeavors. But yeah, Rutgers, just a lot of drama going on over there this year.
I want to say your father. That I was laughing because I saw your father's comment. He thinks the coach is done too at Rutgers.
I mean, she has to be on the hot seat.
She's definitely on the hot seat.
We'll say
So
that.
we'll see what happens with that. Mr. S.E. Bread, I definitely saw that right before we went live that that Anissa was saying she didn't break her nose.
Also, the commentators just be lying.
I think Holly Rowe said it.
Yeah, how?
It tracks. That tracks. Holly Rowe. Holly
How
Rowe.
you roll? She a go. Okay.
But yeah. Tomorrow we got TCU versus Texas, UConn versus USC. Who you got for TCU versus Texas?
I'm going with TCU. I'm rolling with momentum. In Van Lith, we trust. I'm going with Van Lith.
No, I'm gonna go TCU too.
Because Texas be acting shaky sometimes.
They do be acting shaky. I'm going with TCU. UConn and USC.
I'm going to go UConn. UConn gets to another Final Four. Paige is not letting a juju-less USC beat her.
Yeah. Yeah. Damn, I miss Juju.
Well,
I would have loved to see that.
because this is a rematch from last
You
year.
took the words out of my mouth. Like that's what we wanted to see. But yeah, I'm gonna go UConn for that reason too. I'm gonna go with UConn for that reason too. Definitely didn't have UConn in my Final Four though. I told you that.
Yeah. I mean, you did.
I did not have UConn in my Final Four, but we'll see what happens. I want to see the freshmen still step up for USC. I want to see Kiki fight tomorrow.
Yeah.
You never know. You
Do
just
or
never
die.
know.
No, you don't. You don't. I think the pressure's on UConn.
It is.
The pressure's on UConn. And USC may play free tomorrow because, hey, what do they have to lose? I think. I think they make it a game, but I think UConn ultimately comes out on top.
We shall see. Make sure y'all tapping into the games tomorrow. Um, we're gonna move on to the business of sports. We got some news this week that the New York Liberty, they're getting a new practice facility.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna hold you. My first thought was where y'all putting that at?
right.
Because there's like no, it feels like there's
Space.
no open space in
There's
New
no
York
space
City.
at all.
But they found some room in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. Um, and it's a $80 million state of the art practice facility. It looked fire in the designs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dope. I think they deserve it. This is projected to open in 2027. It's gonna be 75,000 square feet, and the construction costs will be fully funded by Liberty's ownership group.
Yep. The size. They know what to do. They know what to do. Look, I was reading this. I just wanted to bring this to the forefront. Additional key Liberty practice facility features will include a rooftop patio and lounge area, a broadcast and podcast studio, a dedicated workroom, and 3 floors of office space for the Liberty's growing front office staff. As a dedication to its fan base, the Liberty will also build a fan-facing immersive experience, hospitality, and a retail storefront. I think I should keep going.
Oh yeah.
The facility will pay homage to Brooklyn's history while looking ahead to the future. The pre-existing structure, a 4-story former light bulb factory, will bring authentic character to the staff offices, dining, and administrative spaces by highlighting original exposed brick, wood flooring, and wood beams. A newly constructed 40,000 square foot 2-story extension will predominantly focus on the players' amenities, including the locker room, training room, weight room, roof decks, recovery suite, and practice courts. That is correct. Mohegan Sun. What are y'all doing over there?
Playing around. That's why Natasha's like, get me out now.
Mm-hmm.
Get me out now.
Yeah.
But this is gonna be dope. I love the fact that they're also creating a content space. Again, we talked about what Arrival did.
Yeah.
You know, kind of making the space into a content house. And they're following suit. New York Liberty will be following suit. I love that they're thinking about fan engagement, even at the practice facility.
Right. Right.
That's gonna be dope. I want to see what that looks like.
Yeah.
What meet and greets like, or what type of like events and experiences that they're going for. And then we know that the season starts in May. It's gonna be hot. You said there's a rooftop. It's a lot of like, you're in New York. You said there's exposed brick in there. Again, really honing in on like Brooklyn culture with,
Right.
you know, it's just, that's fire. It sounds dope. I'm pretty sure it's going to be fire. That's a fact.
Yes. Correct. That is correct. Wow. Yeah.
That's a fact. But yeah, I think the facility's gonna be fire. So shouts to the New York Liberty. Shouts to their front office.
They getting it done. I think there's a clip going around too with Clara Wu talking about elite athletes deserve elite resources. That's a bar. Yeah, she's absolutely correct. I mean,
It's that simple.
we just spoke to Mercedes Walker, and she was talking about how in Turkey, Fenerbahce resources insane, facilities insane. Okay, why would y'all not have top tier things for the athletes y'all want to win for you? Like Connecticut, get it together. Get it together.
Chicago, get it together.
Yes, Chicago.
I'm on Chicago's neck. Chicago, get it together.
Stepping on your neck. Facts.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is dope. Moving on. Nike and Together launches. Everyone watches women's sports collection. So we've been seeing for the past year, maybe almost 2 years, everybody wearing the Everyone Watches Women's Sports shirt. And so, yeah, Nike and Together, they're going to move forward with a partnership that reinforces both companies' shared commitment to growing women's sports through innovation, inspiration, investment, and improving visibility for the next generation. So, as part of this partnership, there's going to be apparel, obviously, and in the apparel collection, it's going to feature t-shirts, hoodies, caps, in two colorways: off black and white.
Okay.
Yeah, first of all, the shirt is fire. It's a statement, a timely statement. We've seen mad people wear this shirt, men and women alike. So I am interested to see what else they come up with this the quote.
Facts. I mean, this is how we grow the game.
Period. But congratulations to Together for creating these and creating a dope quote that really just took over apparel for the last year, or t-shirts for the last year. So shouts to Together. So that is all we have for business of sports. We are now going to move into NIL news / college sports news. Oh, but not without Brittany letting y'all know.
Yeah, y'all
This
better
her
make sure
segment.
y'all follow us. Come on now. We got about 80 or so people in here. Y'all can follow. Hit that like button. All right. We appreciate y'all. The next thing.
Yeah, Paige Becker. So back to your girl. I loved what she said in support of Juju. Paige has went through many injuries, and the fact that she offered her time, right, and then also like an ear whenever Juju needs it,
Right.
was fire. She got interviewed this week, right before, I think, a day before her game, and yeah, the interviewer just asked, like, have you spoken to her, and what words do you have for Juju? And she just says she has no doubt that she'll come back better than ever, and that although it's a tough time, that she'll be all right, and that she spoke to her and basically said that whenever she wants to talk, or if she has questions about walking through the process, that she can always hit her line. And I think that that's important during times like that. Brittany and I both suffered knee injuries.
Mm-hmm.
I specifically tore my ACL, and I know that even for you, I feel like I can speak for you too. It could be a rough time.
Yes. Very, like we talk about mental health now, like it's normal now that we talk about mental health, but back then them conversations were not being had, and you had
Mm-mm.
to kind of deal with your injury in your own, you know, whatever resources that you had, that's what you
Mm-hmm.
used. And even if you didn't have no resources, I mean, there were a lot of moments where there were dark moments from like coming back from an injury.
Yeah, it's hard. It's
Very,
hard.
very hard, very hard, especially when you. So, like for me, I suffered back-to-back meniscus tears. I tore my meniscus, my lateral meniscus, in both of my knees.
Mm-hmm.
And it was literally back to back. So at the end of my freshman year, going into my sophomore year, I tore it, and then going into from my sophomore going into kind of like going into my junior year, I also re-injured it again. So um, that toll, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got injured and I got injured again. I got to come back from this. So like just having those perspectives, but I'm fortunate that I could lean on a couple of the alum, at my school when I went through the injury.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them, I'll say one in particular, Maury Horton,
Mm-hmm.
really instrumental in me overcoming my injuries in school. And for me, also kind of like rising as a player at Rutgers, because she really invested time and energy into me. Uh, that summer going into my junior year, like I knew I had to work.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had to work, and indeed I did.
Yeah.
With Maury, we like literally she's a school teacher, so she working all day, and then like I had class all day, and
But still made time.
she coming
Mm-hmm.
out at 10 at night and working out with me until 11:30
Mm-hmm.
every day in the summertime. So like you got to put in the work,
You
and
do.
it's
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 tough.
important to lean on. You need a supporting cast, especially when you have an injury.
Dog, you do. You do.
Yeah.
You do. So, um, that was dope to hear from Paige. And
Yeah.
again, thoughts and prayers to Juju, while she's recovering from her injury.
Yeah.
Um,
Can
well,
I
go
just
ahead.
make one more statement? And also, too, I just wanted to say this because I've been looking at the data for since
Oh
November
yeah.
2023. Because I was just interested as to really my interest peaked when I seen Nika Mule tear her ACL overseas. Because really the viewpoint was she didn't play during the WNBA season, right? She's on the Seattle Storm. So she didn't really get the load of a wear and tear, but when she goes overseas, she's the starting point guard for that team, and she's immediately like thrusted into the physicality and the speed and the pace of that game. So like first game in, she tears her ACL, right? So and if y'all watch
But
the
she
video,
was killing.
she was killing. And if you watch the video and you hear that scream, it's a little chilling. Okay. But I started looking at the data from then, and that's when I realized, oh, so we're at a disadvantage as women athletes because we're 2 to 8 times more likely to tear our ACLs. I was taken aback. And Chantee could tell you, I was like, what is this?
But I feel like it's just been an increase.
Right.
Like, not just with the women, but also with the men.
For sure.
It's just been a gradual,
For
like, I've
sure.
never heard
Mm-hmm.
these reports in one season.
Right. Right. And I mean, even the other injury reports, right? Like we were talking about the deep vein thrombosis that we've
Yeah.
seen Damian Lillard experiences. This is the third NBA player that I've heard that suffered from deep vein thrombosis. If we take it back, Chris Bosh, when he was on the Heat, this is what ended his career. Basically, he had a clot that formed in his calf that traveled to his lung, and basically he suffered pulmonary embolism because of that, right? And then Victor Wembanyama suffered the season-ending deep vein thrombosis in his right shoulder, his shooting shoulder, and now we seeing Damian Lillard with it in his calf. And they normally say it happens in your calf. So like for Victor Wembanyama, that was kind of like uh not a common spot that it happened in. But yeah, I'm very curious to look at the data and see why this particular ailment keeps coming up, because that's kind of this is serious. Like we got blood clotting happening, like abnormal blood clotting, right? Like obviously normally your blood does clot, but clotting so much that it basically stops blood circulation, and it's yeah, I'm concerned.
Yeah.
I'm concerned, but
We
yeah.
talked about the ACL protocol.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um,
Look.
I think it also, well, I say that all the time, I'm not a medical professional, but mobility,
Yes,
I
mobility
think is
training.
very important. And we've said this offline. I wish that during my college career, I would have done more mobility. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if I would have tore my ACL had I,
Right.
done or focused on mobility.
No, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. I mean, I feel the same way. They like in the reports, they're saying there are a number of factors that contribute to why women are 2 to 8 times more likely. And one of the things is that they say our biomechanics and how we land. Like naturally, men land, they land balanced, they land evenly, and we as women, we have to be taught that because naturally, no. And this is true because I go to games and watch how girls are landing, and I'm just like, them. Yeah,
It's
it's
funny you said that because that's how I tore it. But I came out, it was a closeout. And
mm,
instead I leaned. My
yeah,
joint said, what?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So to your point, yeah, it's
Mechanics.
mechanics. Yeah.
We also too have um our ACL tissue is thinner than males. Also, our hips are wider for obvious reasons, but because our hips are wider, our knees tilt in more inward. So that inward tilt, that slight inward tilt definitely increases the likelihood of um, you tearing it. And then lastly, I believe it's hormonal changes. So like for us, when we're on our cycle, they say that the presence of estrogen um, increases ligament laxity. This is the terminology they're using. Ligament laxity. So essentially, your ligament becomes more loose during changing hormonal cycles. So that's something to think about, y'all. So if you have any student athletes, please get them start knee prevention protocols now. Like it's introduce that and start it for them now. Knee prevention protocols. Okay.
And there you have it. Again, prayers to Juju. Speedy recovery. Still staying on page. She officially declared she's going to enter the 2025 WNBA draft. I did see that she said, "Oh, I thought I already declared or made mention of the fact that I was going to the draft, going into the draft." But yeah, no, she announced that on Friday that she's going to enter the draft. So yeah, she's going number one, and more than likely, I don't want to say 100% because we never know, but yeah, she's going to the Dallas Wings. So shouts to Paige. Oh, maybe that's an interesting take.
Okay. Something.
It is. And then also AZ Fudd, she announced this week that she would be staying at UConn, which is great. Yeah. And I am happy she's staying. She's another player that has been subjected to a lot of, or rather been injury prone. So she's going through a lot during her term or time at UConn. And I think another year will allow her to raise her stock, get stronger.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she needs this. She hasn't had a complete season where she's just played since injuring that knee. So we need, come on, 35. You already know I'm here for the 35s. Okay? That's the number I wore in high school and in college. So I'm happy to see her stay. I want to see AZ do well. I want to see her lead her team. So happy she's coming back for sure. Yes, my wife hypothesizes that dancers who play sports may be less prone to such injuries like ACL tears. Regardless, injury prevention is key. Strengthening those areas as much as possible and maybe some dance. I like the ballet shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They seem to be more mobile. Again, for mobility.
No, that's facts because I just want to shout out Spin Doc and Hoopers Academy because I definitely seen the clip of y'all doing knee prevention protocols and stretches because that's really important. Like we're trying to get college teams to do this. So like if you're doing it on a grassroots level and getting girls and young men to kind of adhere to that now and introduce them to that now, then that's even better. I didn't get introduced to like injury prevention until I was a professional athlete, which is sad. Like never, not once in college did we have a cool down after the game. Like we did not have a cool down. I first got introduced to a cool down where I had to literally, my trainer, he made, and I used to hate him for this because I used to just want to bounce after the game. Like I don't want to be here with y'all. Especially if we lost, I don't want to be here with y'all. But he always made us take off our shoes and do laps around the court after the game, and we had to do dynamic stretching on the court. Like it was a series of maybe 4 or 5 dynamic stretches, and then we had to go. So I think that now reflecting on that,
that's how that goes. Like, right. Yeah,
right. They should do that in college too.
Yeah, they should.
I don't remember.
I didn't do that.
No,
I do that now.
It's new times, and plus too, we need these preventative things because look, the game is moving faster. Like the possessions per game are going to continue to increase. Like, so it's even more important for kids to protect their legs. Y'all gotta protect
feet. That's like, another thing,
right? If your feet ain't right, if your feet ain't right, everything moving up is compromised. your feet not strong. So yeah.
All that, which is kind of lends to what Spendoc just said with the feet and the dancers. They got strong feet, ballet dancers. But
They sure do.
yeah, no.
They be having bunions and stuff too, but that's okay. That's okay.
We need to do football drills. I know that for me in college, we were on the football field.
Yeah, Chantee was talking about how she
Shouts
was
to Coach Gill.
doing. What was those sprints you was doing on the football field?
I don't even remember, but I know exactly. I see it in my. As we're talking, I see it. I just can't remember the name right now. But yeah, no. I mean, to your point, I've spent a couple of summers on campus and trained with the football team. I have been the only girl there. And Coach Gill, again, shouts to Coach Gill, who used to coach at my college at for the football team. He didn't care. I was out there too. But the mobility part,
Yeah.
still, you could do all the drills, but I probably I would have focused more on mobility had I known what I know now.
Been more informed.
Yeah. So transfer portal news.
Everybody's going in. I don't know who's coming out though.
Even on the men's side, we saw
everybody.
that Villanova. I mean, even though the coaches, I would love for somebody to create a coaches transfer portal.
Yeah, because that's always open.
It's always open. And Brittany and I were talking about like tampering and all this stuff, but that happens with the coaches too. Because what are y'all having conversations?
Right.
No, we got word on Kiyomi. Thank you. That's a beautiful segue. Kiyomi did announce this week that she is, and it was announced this week that she's entering the transfer portal. We knew that. I knew that. She hasn't played in a few games, more than a few. And because of what happened a few months ago, the IG debacle.
Yeah, you can't throw.
It wasn't good over there.
Under the bus.
It wasn't good.
You can't do that.
I would like to see where she ends up.
Facts.
I don't know what else to say about it other than we knew that she was going to be entering the transfer portal. She didn't look happy. Yeah, Clara Silva is also in the transfer portal from Kentucky. We got some word about Coach Brooks too. One of the now previous players of Kentucky. She was going into her senior year. She's not going to be returning. She is going to be retiring. And allegedly it's because he took away her scholarship. So we learned that, I feel like today or last night. Yeah. Who else? The biggest though was Tanaya
Latson. But you know what she did say? She said that she could possibly return back to Florida State. So she's putting that out there. But
I like that.
She want to test the waters. Okay. She want to test the waters.
Well, you hot. Let me see what Let me see what offers y'all got for me. But that was the biggest news, I would say. I mean, we got a lot of transfer portal news, but I know that caught people by surprise. When I saw that, I was like, let me text you immediately.
Yeah. Or Gianna too from Utah.
Yeah, that's another one.
I was like,
yeah,
what? Old girl could help somebody because she's a bucket.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
A bucket.
Cody McMahon, let me tell you something. How she ended that last game
Yeah,
against Tennessee was crazy.
she's she was my swerve in that corner. Whoa, she was tweaking.
Yeah, she was.
She was tweaking.
She was. I think she posted something yesterday or today in support of LSU. So then people were like, "Well, is she interested in going to LSU? Will she end up at LSU? I don't know." Jada Williams too
Right.
left
Damn
Arizona.
near, look, damn near the entire Arizona women's basketball team is in
They
the
looking to get out. I don't know.
like, like really, like the three top people that minutes played, top minutes played. Yeah, they in the portal. Cunningham, Bay, they in the portal. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
wow. I was looking at Austin P. About nine of them girls is in the portal. I'm like, whole teams is in the portal.
Mm-hmm. Whole team.
But
I mean, we saw that already with Oregon State last
yeah,
year.
yeah,
So
Oregon State.
Oregon State, but Jada visited Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
That's
That's
it's free agency in
yeah, this
college. I mean, we say that all the time, but
like it's really college free agency now. Like
mm-hmm,
for real.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's insane. Wow.
We'll see where they end up. We'll see what happens. I know that these numbers are probably outdated that we have because every day
Yeah.
there's news. So I'm sure that they'll update the numbers next week. Um I don't think I finished my thought earlier about the Maryland men's coach.
Oh
He
yeah,
left.
uh-huh.
Yeah, he's going to Villanova. Um
Yeah, Kevin Willard.
yeah. I'm trying to think of other coaches that made a move. Larry Vickers, forgot, of
Oh yeah,
Norfolk State
say he's going to
women's basketball.
Auburn.
He's
Yeah.
on the Auburn. Yeah, I don't know the men. I don't know. I haven't been tapped in this year. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I don't. To be quite honest, the only person I know right now is Uzan on Houston because he made that layup to beat the watching that in real time was really Kelvin Sampson really just that was the perfect play.
It was. And you saw
Always,
the help. The
yes.
person that was supposed to stay did not stay.
What would they do?
The guard, well, there was a player open in the corner.
He X all the way out.
You're supposed to defend the basket.
Right.
I'd much rather you shoot a three. We'll live and die by the three. We'll see it. But I ain't giving up no layups.
Yeah, I'm not Xing out like that.
Yeah, that's what happened.
He went all the way out
and didn't defend the paint. That's right. I had to watch that a few times, but that was a great play.
1,000 times, and I was just confused because, like, we're taught to go down and in, the middle and in. This fool went out into the side. It was
hard to watch.
Yeah.
Great play though. But hard to watch. Yeah, he went out. But yeah. Moving on. Rick Pitino and Amir Khan from McNeese State. Yo, he had a run.
He sure did.
Amir Khan had a run. But anyway, they're auctioning memorabilia from this season to raise NIL funds. And I think, at least for Rick Pitino, we've been seeing a lot of Rick Pitino as of late, and other coaches talking about money, NIL money, and how the house settlement with the NCAA is about to affect these schools because they need to get enough money to not only keep these players, but to make sure other athletes in the school are being paid.
Right.
And I say I like to say Rick Pitino is going to be helping in raising NIL funds, very similar to Woj, who we talked about a few weeks ago. If you weren't here for that episode, we talked about how Woj, now retired, and now the GM at St. Bonaventure, um, auction off some of the phones that he had when he was breaking news,
Yeah.
NBA news. And so those sold for a few $1,000s. He has several different phones. They all sold for different amounts. And so now, like I just said, Rick Pitino is doing the same thing. So he is um, auctioning off his iconic white Armani suit.
Mm.
And those funds are going to go to St. John's NIL. The suit is one of a few items on the block at DAP's Bounty as part of its Madness collection. And then also, like I said, Amir Khan, if you don't know who he is, he was the manager for McNeese State, who was going viral throughout the course of the NCAA tournament. Um, but he's going to be auctioning off a jukebox, a jukebox.
Yeah.
And yep, and then Jay Williams, um, during a national championship at Duke, is also listed as, I guess, selling some stuff. Experiences with CBS Sports reporter John Rothstein and Fox Sports John Fanta are part of the campaign as well. Um, the suit right now, the highest offer was $7,500 as of Friday.
Okay.
I think it's cool.
They got to do what they got to do to get this money. So he should auction off some of his shoes too.
Who?
Rick Pitino.
Whatever's gonna get it done. That's where we at now. But I love that they're capturing moments in time. They're thinking about like major moments in basketball and finding unique ways to like monetize those things. I think it's cool. I
Right.
think it's cool. Um, Diamond Johnson is she declared for the WNBA.
Yes. And if y'all did not know, Amir Khan was really one of the first managers to get an NIL deal. He got a few deals with a few brands. So his claim to fame is essentially he's the manager that comes out with the team. He would be like the managers. He was like the hype manager, if you want to say. So he would bring his boombox out with the team. He would wear some of their chains. Um, but yeah, because he was sporting this boombox around, the brands got a whiff of that, and they stuck their logo on the front of his boombox when he was coming out during the NCAA tournament. So that's ad placement, brand placement, if you want to say. It's analogous to brands putting their logo on the team jerseys now. You know, they put it on his boombox because they knew they would see it. So shout out to Amir for getting $100,000 NIL deals
As a manager.
as a manager.
Mm-hmm. I
Wow.
just wanted to bring this up from Spendoc, which is funny, but he's right. Um, because I did see that UTSA men's basketball players over at UTSA was complaining about not receiving NIL checks this week. And they had the nerve, some of the players had the nerve to snapshot their conversations with their coaches. So
Oh,
basically, yeah, and a lot of the slides that I saw, um, the coaches are saying like, "Yo, stay. We got $75,000 for you. We got 125K for you." But there are no agreements, right?
right,
So
right.
what Spendoc says. So they're taking some of these coaches' uh, words for as truth, and so because there's no agreements, they're staying, like some may stay at schools and then not get the NIL money that was promised to them. So I just see those checks this week. Um, it is the Wild Wild West still with NIL, even though it's a dope thing and we're in great. It's just a great time for student athletes. Um, yeah, you should always have an agreement. You should always have an agreement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, moving on. Derik Queen from Maryland. He got a deal with Dairy Queen. This is, I mean,
This makes
duh.
yeah, right? Duh. Yeah. Yeah.
This is cool. Um, Derik Queen been killing. He hit the buzzer against Colorado State a week ago. He's also from Baltimore. Um, but yeah, he has inked an endorsement deal with Dairy Queen, and as part of the endorsement deal with Dairy Queen, the Maryland Star will be in a handful of videos promoting the brand and the Blizzard. Um, Derik Queen's, oh, he is promoting the chocolate dipped pecan and caramel treat turtle Blizzard, which is a play on the Terps, Maryland's mascot. Um,
Okay, I like that.
yeah, I think it's cool. It's the same thing with Angel Reese with Reese's Puffs. Like we've seen
Duh.
it.
Duh.
Shorty from Baylor, I can't remember her name. That's gonna bother me. Her last name is Roach, and she got the Raid deal.
Yes.
Bug. No, her last name is Bugs.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Bugs.
That's the
And she
one.
got it.
What's his name? Nick Andre interviewed.
Shouts to Nick. Yes, he did. But she got the deal. So I love when companies pick up on, just things that naturally connect. Like
Right.
that's
Right.
an easy play.
Facts.
Shouts to Derik Queen. You've been having a great season. Um,
Yeah.
Love to see it.
He about to go to the league. He out.
That's what they keep saying.
He's done.
Yeah, that's what they keep saying.
Bye bye.
How long the managers get NIL? Don't know. It really depends on your contract.
Yeah.
It depends.
But we know he got at least 100K from all those endorsements.
Mm-hmm.
He
It's
had
just
about
right place, right time. That's all it takes.
facts. Where we at? Oh, Division 1 to Division 3. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
reality.
So, St. Francis University, they're going to be moving from D1 to D3. They announced this on Tuesday, and they're doing this because of just how complicated it's become in with things like the transfer portal, pay for play, and other shifts that move athletics away from the love of the game. They thought that this was the best move that they can make to provide resources and support their student athletes in this changing environment. Um, Another quote is all of the university's offerings that are a core part of the St. Francis identity and student experience are reviewed by the board on an ongoing basis, including intercollegiate athletics. Based on the changes in athletics nationally, it would be a disservice to our student athletes and athletic department staff not to review and assess how we could best provide the resources necessary for them to be competitive. And again, this all comes back to the House versus NCAA settlement. Um, we're moving into a revenue sharing model throughout D1 institutions, and these student athletes are now going to be paid from this settlement. And what's happening is that a lot of schools are not going to be able to pay these student athletes the amounts that they're owed. That's just the truth of the matter.
Yeah. That's a fact. We'll probably see more moves like this.
Yeah, I won't be surprised. But that's this is a big move from D1 to D3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They like we can't compete, so yeah.
Yeah, I do think we'll see more schools either make the move or have those conversations behind closed doors. But yeah, moving on. Tech news. 23andMe.
Done. That's crazy.
Want to talk about data privacy? We don't have that. So yeah, we don't have data privacy. Um, if you didn't know, 23andMe, they went bankrupt, and they, in the same week that they went bankrupt, um, a lot of Americans, actually millions of Americans, called to have their data deleted. Um, but what's happening is 23andMe are they're thinking about selling the data. Um, and the truth of the matter is that personal identifiable data that all of us have, um, is very resourceful, and it sells for a high amount, which is sickening. And we freely give a lot of this information away. Um, what I learned is that when 23andMe first started, a lot of its users gave consent to 23andMe to use for research purposes, their data for research purposes. Again, I don't think a lot of people understood just the implications of those things.
Right.
Um, but long story less long, some experts say putting genetic information on sale is both a data disaster and national security disaster. But others say that 23andMe panic represents a small part of a much bigger health information problem. Um,
Mm.
this is not the first time in which 23andMe has come into, run-ins about the use of the data. And they even had a data breach back in 2023, and 7 million people who took the genetic test were exposed in that major data breach, which is crazy. 7 million people. And I mean personal identifiable information. Like, it could be your address, it's your genetics, everything is part of that.
Terrible.
So not only can that stuff be used for scams, it can be used for all other type of stuff. Like,
Wow. I'm glad I ain't never do 23andMe because
all right.
I definitely have a little kit over there somewhere.
I was gonna ask you if it was 23andMe because I
I,
remember you said it, but I didn't remember what company it was
I
with.
think it is. I
Thank
think it is.
God.
I was about to do it.
No, thank God. No. Um, and in recent days, 23andMe says that it will try to find a buyer who shares its privacy values.
Ain't none of y'all.
Integrity.
Y'all ain't got no integrity. Get out of here.
Yeah, it's integrity, and that's really what this is all about.
Share our privacy. No. Yeah, right. Y'all lying.
That's nothing to play with. Millions
It
of
ain't.
people are calling like, "Yo, delete my data, destroy my data now." It's sad.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not supposed to be laughing, but
No, I
it's
mean, it's
like
crazy. It's
they
crazy.
they ain't going to delete your data. They just gonna pass it on the dark web.
Yeah, basically,
And give it to somebody else, like they
they got
all.
some samples. Like,
Yeah, it's over. It's over. And yeah, that's it for tech. Bye bye.
this is culture news.
Yes. Um, we are imploring you guys to go check out our latest episodes. Okay. Um, Beyond the 9450 with Chantee Smith Jones. This is our first, we got a chance to interview our first sports agent. So uh go listen to that. And then just recently, we dropped this today, earlier, we brought back Brackets and Buckets, a March Madness miniseries. Um, as y'all know, last year we got a chance to interview my older brother and then also Candace Wheeler. And we had the fortunate opportunity to interview pit legend, Philadelphia great Mercedes Walker. Y'all might have recently seen her in the 3-on-3 Paris Olympics, uh, playing for Azerbaijan, if I'm saying that correctly. Probably not, but she is a dual citizen of Azerbaijan and the United States. So, real, I think it was a very relatable interview.
For sure.
A lot of laughs.
A lot of laughs, a lot of honesty
Yes.
about where we at in
Mm-hmm.
women's basketball. I'm glad you did. I'm glad you listened. Yeah, she
She's
was a great, yeah, it was great to speak to her. Because she holds no bar and she's truly herself. And
yes.
I liked how she talked about her experiences hooping. So yeah, definitely check out both of those interviews. Let us know what you think. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, y'all.
that's
Um,
all we have for tonight.
that is it. Again, make sure y'all following us everywhere. Y'all need to follow us, please. Twitter or X, if that's what you call it now.
Nah.
Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube. Follow us, y'all. We here. We ain't going nowhere. We
We
ain't going
here.
nowhere.
Can't
Okay.
believe the college season's almost over.
Right. We was beasting for it to start, and now it's almost done.
Yeah,
Okay.
that fast.
Wow. Now we about to start back up with WNBA.
Yes. Yes.
Hype, because
It's
this
about
year
that time.
is completely different. Roster's different. Like this year is gonna be turned for the WNBA.
It's
So
going to be turned to CBA negotiations.
right, a lot of things.
Hopefully, we don't have a lockout.
Right,
It's a lot of stuff.
a lot of stuff going down. A lot of
Hmm.
stuff going down. So yeah, tap in with us. We here. We y'all might see us out in the summer at some tournaments and stuff too. Cause that's coming around. We're basically in Q2, y'all. I mean, 3 months went by that fast, which is insane.
It is insane.
Okay.
But thanks
But
for rocking with us this
as
entire time.
always, yes, thank y'all. Thank y'all. Tell a friend about us. Okay. I just got to do that for.
All right, y'all. Tap in with us next week. We'll be here every Sunday for the most part, covering headlines in sports, specifically women's basketball, the business of sports, NIL, tech, and culture. So thank y'all for tapping in with us. We appreciate y'all and peace.
Peace to the gods, the goddesses, and the earth.